The idea that women should look a certain way to take on important roles is tantamount to objectification. Hi everyone, welcome to the Humane Factor. Today I'll be talking about beauty pageants. Now, beauty pageants, with their centuries old traditions, have somehow managed to hold their position, even in 2021. But what exactly do beauty pageants achieve? Do they empower women, or do they just set unrealistic standards for them? Ultimately, do they do more harm than good? Keep watching and I'll share both sides of the story because, as you know, every story has two sides. So let's start from the beginning. Now, who came up with the idea to display women to a group of people and decide who's the prettiest of them all? Now, the first modern beauty contest can be traced to one of America's greatest showmen, Phineas T. Barnum. Now, in the 1850s, Barnum owned a dime museum in New York City. Some of his most popular attractions were national contests where dogs, chickens, flowers, and even children were displayed and judged. Now, this slowly crystallized into events where photographs of women were displayed in his museum, and the public would vote to decide who's the most beautiful. But this wasn't very well received by the public at the time. After that, beauty contests came to be considered respectable with the introduction of the Miss America contest in 1921. Now, the Miss America pageant was originally designed to attract tourists to Atlantic City in New Jersey. Winners were partially judged on the basis of the applause they received. The popularity of the Miss America pageant prompted other organizations to establish similar beauty contests. Now, in the 1950s, many new pageants started popping up. The Miss World contest started in 1951 and Miss Universe and Miss USA in 1952. More contests like Miss International and Miss Asia Pacific International started flourishing in the 1960s. Since then, beauty pageants have caught on like wildfire. In recent years, they've also become a subject of controversy. Now, some see them as platforms that demean women by portraying them as sex objects or even showpieces. Others are of the view that they empower women and provide them with a platform to talk about social issues. Now, let's take a deeper look at both sides. Didas Gakire, a gender activist in Rwanda, says that the Miss Rwanda pageant provides girls with numerous opportunities. Beauty is part of what they consider, but there are also other values like culture and one's intellect that the judges look out for. The girls that take part in these contests turn out to be responsible young women who engage in activities that build the country, he says. Now, the argument here is that these contests provide a platform for women to be in leadership and mentorship roles. It gives a chance for women to talk about social issues and reach a large audience. And there is some truth in that. For instance, former Miss World Canada, Anastasia Lin, used her platform to raise awareness about human rights violations in China. Now, there have been numerous instances of pageant winners participating in charity initiatives and using their voice to talk about social issues. In fact, the United Nations International Pageant focuses mainly on volunteer and charity work. Now, just a quick disclaimer here. This pageant is not affiliated to the international organization, the United Nations. Now, one of the requirements to participate in this pageant is that each contestant must have a background in volunteer work. Now, this pageant prides itself in not having a swimsuit round. However, contestants have said that physical appearance is a huge deciding factor, and it's not just about community work. Now, over the years, pageants have evolved to the extent that there is some emphasis placed on the person's intellect, awareness, and personality. But in the larger scheme of things, is it enough? Now, the commonality with respect to all pageants is that physical appearances matter. There is no denying that. Now, you remember the saying, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder? But is that true when it comes to beauty pageants? Or does beauty have to conform to certain standards? Now, though many international beauty pageants like Miss World and Miss Universe do not list height or weight requirements, there is a preference for tall and thin women. Now, women competing in beauty pageants have in fact been told to lose weight on several occasions. And the sad part here is that the women who are told to lose weight are already quite thin. Now, a UK-based organization called Superdrug Online Doctor studied the trends in the height and weight of Miss Universe winners over the years in comparison to that of the average American woman. Now, this study uses the BMI or body mass index to study the trend in weight change over the years. Now, the BMI is a mathematical formula which, based on your height and weight, measures fat. Now, an important disclaimer here, the BMI is by no means an accurate indicator of body fat. Now, it has been dismissed by many medical professionals because it doesn't take into account other important factors that influence your weight, like muscle mass, body composition, bone density, ethnicity, or even your biological sex. Now, this study does mention that the BMI is not a reliable tool and relies on it only for the purpose of comparing data and analyzing the overall trend. And I think the BMI can sometimes be useful to study patterns and trends like in this study. So, according to this study, while the average BMI of the American woman increased over the years, the average BMI of the Miss Universe winners has drastically dropped, pushing them into the underweight category. Now, the study also found that while the average height of the American woman has stayed constant over the years, the desired height of Miss Universe winners has increased by 3 to 5 inches over the course of the pageant's history. Now, some pageants like the Miss America pageant have gotten rid of the swimsuit round, and they claim that they no longer judge contestants based on outward physical appearance. Take a look at this clip.
We will no longer judge our candidates on their outward physical appearance. That's huge.
That's huge.
And that means that we will no longer have a swimsuit competition. We're no longer judging women when they come out in their chosen attire, their evening wear, whatever they choose to do. It's going to be what comes out of their mouth that we're interested in when they talk about their social impact initiative.
Now, that's definitely a step in the right direction. But Many other pageants, including Miss USA and Miss Universe, still have a swimsuit round where women are judged on the basis of their bodies, and they have no plans of getting rid of it. Now, I think there are several issues with beauty pageants in general, but I'll discuss two main points. The first one is, what does physical appearance have to do with empowering women? Now, the idea that beauty pageants empower women to fit into leadership or mentorship roles or use their voices to reach a large audience all sounds good. But what it essentially means is that for women to reach a large audience and take on these roles, she has to look a certain way. Now, that's because physical attributes like height and weight are almost basic requirements to participate in pageants, though most pageants won't publicly acknowledge that. Sure, they may not be deciding factors, but they're basic requirements. Almost like how you need a college degree to land a skilled job. Sure, your college degree may not be the only reason you land a skilled job, but without a college degree, you won't even be considered for the position. Now, the idea that women should look a certain way to take on important roles is tantamount to objectification. If pageants genuinely care about creating platforms to empower women, there shouldn't be so much emphasis on physical appearance. Now, moving on to the second issue, which is beauty pageants set unrealistic beauty standards for women and perpetuate economic divide. Now, young girls and even women who watch beauty pageants aspire to look and be like the contestants. Now, this has contributed to a culture where women tend to spend more time, effort, and money grooming themselves than their male counterparts. Now, these unrealistic standards cause body image issues among young girls and women, ranging from body dysmorphia to eating disorders. Now, another thing is that beauty pageants tend to perpetuate social inequality. Some time ago, someone asked actor Jameela Jamil what the secret to her good skin is. And she said that the secret to her good skin is privilege. She said she has access to quality nutrition and exercise, and because her life is significantly less stressful than those with lesser privilege, she is able to get good sleep. And she is absolutely right. Maintaining your physical appearance requires access to quality nutrition, health care, skin care, exercise, sleep, and low levels of stress. Now, many people simply don't have access to all that. So, by setting these unrealistic beauty standards, the economic divide between privileged women who have access to resources to look a certain way and those who don't is widened. At the end of the day, we are more than what we look like. Physical appearances are transient, and what's permanent is the difference we make through our actions. And I hope that we as a society start to emphasize on that more than anything else. So I hope you like this video. Please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for videos every Wednesday and Saturday. See you soon.